The following production is brought to you by the Talkin' Buds Leaf Show.
Here we go. Talkin' Buds Leaf Show. Here's the good news. The good news is you and I have lots of experience doing these types of podcasts. This is far from our first time doing an episode like this. The good news about this, too, is I feel like I've already run the gamut of emotions. Like, I was my most angry at 3-0 in the second period when Mitch Marner attempted the backhand spinny pass out of his own zone and then absolutely mailed it in on the defensive effort, which led to the Florida Panthers making it 3-0. So we still had a period and a half to sit through after that, and now I've come on here and I feel like I've come out the other end, and I'm not going to come on here and yell and scream. There's plenty of time for that. I am going to say one thing off the top, though. And this goes for you, and this goes for anyone who wants to comment on our video, and this goes to any fan, any media member, anyone. If you're coming out of this hockey game and you want to talk about anything other than Auston Matthews or Mitch Marner, miss me with that. You have lost the plot completely if you want to start talking about anything other than those two guys. Period. Yeah. That's all this is about right now.
Yeah, I mean, I just need to get one thing off my chest. Na 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 na. Good effort. See you later. What a bunch of losers.
Oh. Jesus. I know someone will point at who scored the goals for the Florida Panthers tonight.
Oh,
because dude, listen, we've got enough experience of people leaving comments and stuff, and I know what people say, and they're gonna say, well, look who got the goals for the Panthers tonight: Kulikov and Boqvist and Mikkola and AJ Greer. And it's like, listen, that's the Florida Panthers. They're the defending Stanley Cup champion. They went to the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row. The narrative about them is not the same as the narrative about the Toronto Maple Leafs. And what you saw tonight, the nucleus of this Maple Leaf team is Auston Matthews and Mitch Marner. They are the CEOs. Our cousin actually sent me an excellent tweet tonight about how if you have a corporation that is run by two terrible CEOs, it doesn't matter who's under them. It's just terrible. It'll be run terribly. And that's essentially what is happening here. Like, they are the nucleus. They're the CEOs. They're the leaders. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. The loser energy absolutely fucking radiates off both of these guys. Radiates off both of them. Anyone. I want to clip the Mitch Marner. I just said 2 minutes ago that I'm not going to yell and scream, and here we are. I want to clip the Mitch Marner backhand spinny pass, and I want to show that to anyone who in a few weeks goes, you're going to let a skilled player like Mitch Marner walk out the door? Yes. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Well, first of all, if you're one of those people and you're complaining about the depth scoring that the Panthers got tonight and that the Leafs didn't get, then you're confused because it's one and the same. You're gonna complain about depth scoring, but yet you're gonna just rob yourself the opportunity of adding depth to sign a guy to a massive ticket who clearly cannot perform in the playoffs. So that's just, if you're arguing one thing, you better not be, you can't be on both sides. It's either you want depth or you truly believe that the way they're constructed with the skilled players making money is that's the way to go. You got to pick your lane here. I don't want to hear one person have both those arguments.
There's still one game left, so I don't think we need to do the whole post-mortem in the sense of like, We don't need to talk about John Tavares' future. We don't need to talk about Morgan Riley's. We don't need to talk about any of that right now. Right now, we need to focus on Auston Matthews and Mitch Marner. I texted you this during the game. You and I have been wrong for several weeks now in discussing Mitch Marner and saying, and assuming that it's still up in the air what happens in a couple weeks. It's not. This dude is as checked out as it gets. As it gets. His bags are packed. He's out of here. And you know what? He's doing, as I've said before, he's doing himself and he's doing the organization a favor by turning around and walking out that door, because to be quite honest, I don't trust this organization to not trip over themselves to try and re-sign him. I really don't. There's people who are probably listening to us 5 minutes into this, banging their table, being like, what about Auston Matthews? What about Auston Matthews? Listen, terrible. Absolutely terrible. In an era where these guys have consistently disappointed in big game moments in the playoffs, this was a Picasso tonight. Like this
it really was. It was the worst of the worst.
If you want to talk reality, I'm not absolving Auston Matthews from blame. I'm looking at the situation as it currently stands, which is Auston Matthews is here for the next 3 seasons. As I just said, I think if the shoe was on the other foot, if Marner still had term on his deal, I absolutely could see this organization at the end of next week coming out and saying, we'd like to run it back. We thought we took a step this year, yada, yada, yada. I think Mitch Marner ultimately making the decision to be like, I need to leave is best for everyone involved. It's best for Auston Matthews. You need to get these two guys away from one another. This is them. I'm sorry. This is entirely at both of their feet. Like I said, the loser energy. It's best for everyone if he just says, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. And at this point, I just don't see how it cannot go that way. Like, just how could that not happen at this point? It's just, it's crazy. It's just, the word toxic is just the right word to describe this situation. And tonight, when you see they go down 3-0, you just see the look on their faces. They're done. They're defeated. They got no fight left. There's no passion. And it's just a rolling snowball effect of just failure after failure and negativity after negativity. And it's hard to watch. It really is hard to watch when you watch a game like that. I've never seen such weak mental players. Like, I don't know. I'm sure other fan bases have other players too, like Connor Hellebuck, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad at this point.
The whole team was awful tonight. The whole team was awful. I'm not saying that that's not the case. It is. They were all awful tonight. But I'm sorry. It begins and ends with these two guys. We changed the coach. We changed the general manager. We've changed the supporting cast. We've done everything that can possibly be done except moving off one of these two guys. And the reality is you're in a situation now where that can happen. And it's just gotten so sour and so ugly here, especially now when you factor in. I was sitting there tonight and I was going, they had a chance at the trade deadline to move Mitch Marner to Carolina for Mikko Rantanen, and he vetoed it. Again, I'm not going to hold that against him, but it's like listen, he has a contract with a no move clause. He was in his right to do that, but you vetoed it to stay here and play like this. Like it's the Florida when the Florida Panthers eliminated the Tampa Bay Lightning. John Cooper said at the end of that series, that is not a good hockey team. That is an exceptional hockey team. Okay? Which they are. If they lose this series, no one's going to come away going, oh, fuck, they should have had that. No, this is a great hockey team. But it's, again tonight, the effort that is put forth by your best players. Nick Robertson has more goals in this series than Auston Matthews does.
Yeah, wow.
Think about that, Ryan. Think about that.
Yeah, it's awful. Like, it's so bad. It's just, It's beyond awful, and I it's not going to turn around. So I don't know what choice you have other than to just like what happened in the first 3 games. Like what really happened? That's what I'm most interested in, because I said I was mind boggled by the amount of offense they're producing, and rightly so, because since then they haven't produced anything. I don't even count the goal tonight. They basically haven't scored a goal in 2 nights. So what happened in those first 2 games, 3 games? Was Florida just not playing well? Were they asserting themselves like the system they want to play?
That's part of it.
Like what was it, more Florida or was it more Toronto? Like I don't even know at this point, because you watch the Panthers play. The last 2, they just dictate everything. They dictate exactly how the game's going to go. They're going to forecheck. They're going to stifle you defensively, and there's just nothing you could do. It looks like there's literally nothing you could do about it. Like it looks like they're that good. But then you think about the first 2 games when they generated all that offense. It's like what happened? Were the Panthers just late getting started to this series, or do the Leafs actually show a glimmer of ability to create offense against this unbelievable hockey team? Because they really are an unbelievable hockey team. But it's just they've been completely dominated for 2 games, and the Panthers just dictate the entire game how it's going to go, and there's just nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, I think the Panthers weren't themselves in those first couple of games, and I think they woke up a little bit. And I think once they woke up and started really pushing back, doing their Florida Panther thing, the Leafs have kind of caved a little bit. And like I said, the theme of this episode, you look to your leaders to like grab you by the bootstraps and say, let's get refocused here. And I'm on Twitter right now. Chris Tanev says, I'll take responsibility. I need to be better. That's a leader right there.
Yeah.
Auston Matthews, too, I saw, he said something about we all need to look in the mirror, myself included. I'm actually happy to see that. We're not getting the ridiculous, usual, we love each other, we don't care about the noise outside, blah, blah, blah. But it's just...
At some point, they got to be tired of it.
Well, Ryan, talk to me about Mitch Marner, because it's crazy watching this guy. It's crazy. Like, this dude is an elite, high-end, skilled playmaker in the regular season, and you watch him out there tonight, I don't even know what to say. Like, he doesn't do anything. It's like he's out there trying to play a game that nobody else is playing.
Yeah, he's so ineffective. He does nothing. He has no time and space, so he just can't do what he does in the regular season. And then he's just rendered useless. Like there's just nothing he can do. He's not good enough to break through any sort of tight checking. Like that's just the inability to do that. It's just he can't do it. And he's not physical. He doesn't create anything. He actually turns the puck over more than he makes good plays throughout the entire night. There's nothing good out of his play.
There's such an intense softness to him, and he just does not like this environment. He does not thrive in this environment of like really rough, intimidating physical hockey. He doesn't like it. He looks like he doesn't want to be out there playing it.
I find this playoff confusing. Like you just listen to the talk every single day, and it's just like, what is it? What is it? Are your star players good enough to break through some tight checking and create offense? Or is it they're just going to be rendered useless because they're getting so tightly checked and you just need your depth to provide all the offense for you? Like every time you listen to a show, it's one or the other. One second they're talking about the depth. The next second they're talking about how the star players need to break through. I find the whole thing very confusing. One thing that the Maple Leafs have done, and to every general manager must be thrilled about this, is you can look at the model of how this team was built and go, that does not work. Mm-hmm. That does not work. And it's because when your star players don't break through, you're fucked.
Yeah, I think it's a little of both. I think 2 things. All you got to do is watch the Oilers and see what Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl do on a shift-to-shift basis to be like, okay, well, our stars don't do that. But then I was sitting watching the game tonight, and I'm like, they take the puck. It's a different philosophy. I'm gonna get to the second part. I know where you're going with this. It's a different philosophy in the sense that like there's an intensity to their game. Even like I know the Avs are eliminated, but you watch like a Nate McKinnon, and he just takes the puck and he flies down into the other team's zone. He's making things happen. These guys, like they're trying to will a Tuesday in November into existence. You went on the rant last episode about the power play. That's the whole issue with it. It's lollygagging. It's slowing down. It's like, guys, we can't slow down. This is do or die. Like our season is at stake here. Show some fucking intensity. Show some fucking urgency. And they're not able to get that across in their own brain. They're not able to be like, okay, well, I can't do. Mitch Marner's a perfect example, and Matthews, same thing. I can't do what I do in November right now. It's not going to work. It's too tight. Every piece of ice is contested. The Florida Panthers are a well-oiled machine.
Yeah,
we have to take every chance we can get. We've got to throw pucks on net. Bob is starting to get more and more dialed. We got to bang in a greasy one, and it's like they don't. There's no way Craig Berube isn't saying that to them. There's no way their teammates aren't saying that to them. It's so ingrained in who they are. They just don't have. I've seen people throw this around in the last couple of days, and it's true. They don't have that dog in them. That's not who they are. They don't, that's why you need a DNA overhaul. Second part of what you're saying, you just made a great point about how that doesn't work. I think. You look at the Leafs' depth, guys, and there's a certain drop-off there because they don't have enough money to go out and spend $5 million, $6 million on a good third-line player. So it's like you're trying to budget fill the rest of your lineup with these kind of guys who aren't making a ton of money. And I'm not going to, honestly, I don't like talking about this right now because I'm not laying this loss tonight at the feet of fucking Scotty Lawton. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. Like, I refuse, or Nick Robertson. I refuse to do it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, refuse to do it. But you're right. It's like you can't go get a quality third line player and pay him $5 million because you just don't have the money because you're paying Auston Matthews and Mitch Marner and William Nylander and John Tavares all the money. The NBA 82 game grind is done, and now the real fun begins. The NBA playoffs are here. And it's time for all the high-stakes drama, clutch moments, and jaw-dropping plays.
I can't wait. If you're looking to make the playoffs even more exciting, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered as an official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Try placing a bet on your favorite player's performance. Will they drop 30 points, 40, or more? It's your call.
Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Make it a playoff run to remember with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ice.
I just think everyone's just talking out of both sides of their mouth. It's just like whatever's convenient for that second is like what they run with. Like, it's just like, don't give me this shit that these guys are so like, as far as I'm concerned, Alexander Barkov should be the highest paid player in the NHL. What is the guy contributes offense? He shuts down top players, no problem. That's a $14 million hockey player right there. Like, it's just like these, like, at some point, like, I agree. It's like, I'm not laying this on Scotty Lawton or even Joseph Wall. Like, you know, like, it's just like, what's so concerning is like, they don't even get any offensive pressure or time or anything. It's when the Panthers dump the puck in, it is just a relentless forecheck and they turn pucks over and they're always got two guys on a puck. They win a battle. It's to the point. It's to the net. The Leafs, the last two games, like they dump it in and Seth Jones goes back, makes a nice little quick outlet pass, another pass. He's out of the zone. He might need to eat a hit from a guy finishing his check, but it's just out of the zone. They go and just rinse and repeat. And it's like, how can these guys just not be able to just? I think that's what's so frustrating about when they, like, those first three games were just so different. That's what's so frustrating watching this, because it's just like it's back to the same shit of just like how is one team just totally dictating how this game is going and dominating, and you just can do nothing about it. There's nothing you can do about it. It's really frustrating to watch, and it's just like it's a helpless feeling.
I think what's happening here with respect to Matthews and Marner is it's a super unique situation where it's so many years of failure. So you combine that with the fact that these two guys just have never been able to get it done, and the compounding like stress of it's been 9 years of this, and the fans are sick of it, and you see that, man, they wear it, and so they get out there and they just it's like they look like they're anxious. Auston Matthews looks anxious out there. He looks like he's like upset. He doesn't look calm and composed and focused and like driven. He looks like, holy fuck, we better not lose this game. And then it goes to, holy fuck, we're losing this game. Holy fuck, we're really losing this game. Holy fuck, we're gonna have to listen to it. Like that's sort of you see him spiraling. And I've always thought Marner was the same way, but now I think this is a different Mitch Marner we're seeing all day. He's always been soft like this. This dude is checked out. He is checked out. He is out of here next week. Out of here.
Have you ever seen a superstar just be like so tied to another player? Like have you ever seen just a guy who was the second best player in the league for such a long time? Have you ever seen a guy who's supposed to be a superstar caliber level player just be so attached to another guy, and it's just almost they're almost the same identity? Like look at Sidney Crosby. He would be a center, and they put two scrubs on his line every single year. And he made, like, how much money did Chris Kunitz make in his career playing with Sidney Crosby? And he was on Team Canada. And then, like, just all the listed dudes that guy made. Like, it's kind of weird how these two are just totally tied together. And they just need to split it up, because one of them's they're both looking at each other going like, well, I'm not going to do it, and you're not going to do it. The only guy who somewhat does it is 88. And that's it. Like like they just it needs to be severed. Like just their bond together. It's toxic and it doesn't work. And it's weird how two superstar players are so attached to each other. It's like it just needs to stop.
Ryan, Brendan Shanahan has allowed this culture to fester for far too long. There have been rumors for a long time about the stroke, and say that these two guys and their families have behind the scenes in the organization. When Kyle Dubas walked out the door, Brendan Shanahan phoned them and said, don't worry, we're not going to trade you. Don't worry. And these two guys have been given so much power within the organization that they dictate that they play together. And you're right. They've become so intertwined that it's gotten toxic, and they're tied to each other. And it took them being down like 4-0 tonight for Craig Berube, who's new to the situation, to finally split them up, because that's how intertwined they are with one another. It's just like, if I'm Auston Matthews, like I know these guys are friends, and I know that they've had moments in their career in the regular season where they've looked really dynamic together. But if I'm Auston Matthews, like, this is so ugly, and I've got 3 more seasons here. I've got to, like, aren't you a little bit curious about, like, what it looks like without him here? Like, aren't you a little bit curious?
Yeah, I think it's beneficial for both of them. It's just get away from each other. Mitch Marner needs to go play in a market that he won't be so harshly criticized. I think Auston Matthews will always get a mulligan in this market because of the first, like, he just was supposed to be the savior, you know. He's the first
People
overall
are pretty
pick.
pissed at him right now. Ryan.
I know. But I feel like
as hot as the fans have ever been at him.
His ability to rehab his image would take a fraction of the time that it would take Mitch Marner to rehabilitate his. Is what I'm trying to say. It's like Auston Matthews comes out next season, he puts up 60 goals again. I feel like everyone's gonna, like, there's still gonna be the playoff chatter, but I think Mitch Marner's reputation is like permanently damaged, and they just need to split it up. They just need to get away from each other, because they're just one ugly mess together. Like, it's terrible.
And I want to be clear. I have so little faith in the way MLSE conducts their business that I truly believe that if Marner had signed an extension, or if he had said, I want to stay here, and it was looking more positive in that regard, I think they'd trip over themselves to sign him. I think he's the one that is finally realizing, like, I got to go. And I think at the end of the day, he's doing himself and the organization a favor.
Yeah, agreed.
And
this is not even like, I don't even want to. I think sometimes the bad mouthing goes a little far in terms of like the words thrown out at him. Like, I honestly wish the guy did succeed here, but yeah, I think it's honestly best for his career and his mental health to just get out of here.
Yes. And listen, it's entirely possible that Mitch Marner goes somewhere else and wins a Stanley Cup. It's entirely possible. But one thing I guarantee you is if Mitch Marner goes somewhere and does win a Stanley Cup, he will not be a core focal point piece in that happening. He will be a Phil Kessel-esque piece who can go and be like third or fourth on the depth chart and assist another team's core players in winning a Stanley Cup.
It's just not going to it's not going to happen because he's just going to command too much money. Like it's just going to be whatever team you have to make a short list of teams.
Dude, that's
that
another
have
thing
the ability
too.
to pay him. It's because, like, look at the Florida Panthers, man. Like, who's making a hot ticket on that team? Like, nobody, man. They're just a well-built, lots of depth, lots of great players buying into a system. Like, you could go and sign it. Like, just look at the way this has gone. You go have fun. Whatever team, Carolina, like, they're dying for a superstar there. I don't know why, because they're going to the East Conference Final again, but. Like, I just, if he's going to command that money, he's going to be a focal point anywhere he goes.
The highest paid player on the Florida Panthers, the two highest paid players on the Florida Panthers are Alexander Barkov and Sergei Bobrovsky, both making $10 million cap hit.
Alexander Barkov is a $14 million player to me. This guy, what is he the most valuable player in the league? Like, he shuts down everybody, and he also scores nasty goals. He wins every puck battle he's in along the boards. He takes hits, but he gets back up. He's pretty physical himself. Like, what a player! Like, that's a superstar right there.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have. I think I find it really, really hard to believe. I can't go into this game on Friday and just listen. I can't listen to one more person on the radio, and I'm not dissing anybody on the radio. They got a job to do. It's really hard, but like, I can't listen to one more person on the radio go. And you know what? The beauty is these guys have another chance to change it on Friday night. That's not happening. That's not happening. The combo of Matthews and Marner and this era of Matthews and Marner led Toronto Maple Leaf hockey needs to end. It is over. It's been over.
And they're also playing the best playoff team I've ever seen in my life.
Which
arguably,
I understand, Ryan. I understand, and it's not. I don't think if they lost in 6 and it was just. Every game was down to the wire and they didn't get the bounces. And we'd be going, hey, man, they're playing their hearts out. The Panthers are a good fucking team. And, like, there wouldn't be the vitriol. But, like, to follow up your Game 4 effort with that tonight, like I said, this is their Picasso. Think of all the fucking awful playoff games this team has played. Game 5 against Columbus in the bubble. Game 7 against the Montreal Canadiens. One of the Game 7s against the Boston Bruins. I'm definitely missing the whole fucking series against Florida 2 years ago. Yeah, like this team has had some brutal playoff performances, and tonight was their greatest performance. Just terrible.
Yeah, it almost softened the blow that it got like so ugly though.
Yeah,
like if
it just gives you clarity because you're right. I think we all got caught up in how they played.
They had me, dude. They had me when they went up early in Game 3. They 100% had me. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like I was mind blown. They had me, but then you lose that game, and after that game, it's like, well, they fought hard and they've been playing really well, and let's flush this one, let's get to the next one, and then they come back and they just do the same old shit that just pisses people off. And this is why we come on here and have this conversation, because it's just so ugly. It's so when it's ugly, it's really ugly. It's really bad.
Yes. Yeah. It is horrendous. Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything you want to say ahead of the game on Friday? I mean, there is some speculation going around that Anthony Stolarz might play on Friday. If he does, I think the only hope you have going into that game is hoping that him coming back gives them a bit of a jolt. But again, I have negative, like less than zero confidence that Auston Matthews and Mitch Marner are going to go out there and make any sort of difference on Friday night. And with one thing I've learned is your best players, even if they don't end up on the score sheet, your best players and just how they compete in a shift in, shift out basis dictates your team and the whole vibe of your team. And both these fucking guys are awful. So I
don't want to come after you here, but that you and Kipper and anyone who had the Joe Wall take. Terrible take.
Yeah.
When Stolarz went down,
it was.
I honestly think that was a back-breaking injury for them. He just gives them a different swag and a different. Not that it's all laid on Joe Wall's feet. I actually thought he played pretty well tonight. I'm not blaming anything on him. They were just garbage. Like, he was unreal in the first period. He kept them in that game. It could have been 5-0 in the first period. I'm not laying it on the feet of that. I just do think that in a different world, They do play with a little more swag, and I do have a little bit more confidence when Stolarz is in the net.
Yeah, I'll eat shit on that take. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Not.
And I don't
want
to give Joseph Wall shit because it's not a good spot to be in. And I think all things considered, like he
was excellent in Game 4.
He was great in Game 4. He was great in the first period, and then it's just like at some point, like it's just like when you're getting just like I don't even know, like you're just getting. Rushed 24/7.
What are you supposed to do with that?
Yeah, it's just like at some point, I'm not blaming the goalie here, but I wish Stolarz didn't get hurt. And mission accomplished. The Florida Panthers, man, they are a menace. They are just a team of savages, and they're unbelievable. They're really an unbelievable hockey team.
Yep. All right, we're gonna get out of here. We will be back on Friday night after Game 6. Hopefully we're in a better mood for that. I don't know if we will be, but this is why we play the games. If you'd like to join us for that, hit the like and subscribe button below. Got to thank everybody every week. It's been an unbelievable playoff for us just with the views and engagement. We appreciate it so much. If you're listening to the audio version, like, subscribe, review. It really helps us out there.
Spread the word. Tell your friends.
We really appreciate it. We will see you guys on Friday night.